Okay, kids, so now we're back to business. This time will be, this is the continuation of our topic, measuring national income, and this time we will be talking about the real versus nominal GDP. So, inflation can distort economic variables like GDP, so we have two versions of it, the real and nominal GDP. So as you can see, even GDP needs to keep it real, no? So dili ra gyud ang inyong relasyon ang dapat real. So as with the computation of GDP, okay? When we calculate GDP using today's prices, meaning the current prices, we are creating a measure called nominal GDP. So from the word nominal, kaibaw na ta. However, prices can change even if output doesn't change. Say for example, you have a total output of 100 pieces of doll shoes at the price of 10 per pair for 2019. And then in 2020, because of the COVID or the pandemic, the price changes from 10 pesos to 15 per pair. But the output still the same or constant. Now, what will happen to the GDP in this scenario is that the count of GDP will increase, of course. The total spending will increase, but that is not due to the increase in output, but rather because of the increase in price. So because of that, the measure of output is distorted, diba? But in this case, what is the reason of the distortion? Is it inflation or deflation? Of course, it is inflation because there is an increase in the prices of goods and services. We all know that GDP measures the total spending on goods and services in all markets in the economy. If total spending rises from one year to the next, at least one of two things must be true. It could be either number one, the economy is producing a large output of goods and services. Now that is what I am talking about in the previous slide, in the example wherein naakay output ng 100 pieces of shoes at the price of 10 in 2019, and then when 2020 comes, because of the pandemic, there is an increase in prices because of inflation, of course, but the output still remains. Sumana ni si Jang but pasabot ani nga if a total spending rises of a country from one year to the next, at least one of the two things must be true or what is happening. The economy is producing a large output of goods and services, or goods and services are being sold at higher price. So in our example, it is number 2, no? Number 2 ang nahitabo. That is why there is a change in the total spending from year 2019 to 2020. Okay? So in the study of changes in the economy over time, the economists want to separate these two effects. Okay. So, in particular, this refers to the economists now. The economists, or they want a measure of the total quantity of goods and services that the economy is producing that is not affected by changes in the prices of those goods and services. So, klaro, the economists, ganahan sila mo measure sa total quantity. When we say quantity, it refers to the output, not the prices. No? So, economists rather prefer the measure of the total quantity, meaning the output produced in a particular country in a given period of time. No? Okay. So, question. Nga naman, why do the economists wants to measure the quantity rather than the prices of the goods and services? Ngano kaha? So that would be your first assignment. Assignment number 1, why do economists prefer to measure goods and services produced that is not affected by the changes in price? Okay. So, i-research na ninyo, pangita sa Google, ug naa ba. Or, you can finish this video and then answer it on your own. Okay, so, nominal, let us get to know ila-ilahon ning duha ka GDP. Para di ta maglibog, unsa ning nominal, unsa ning real. Okay? So, nominal GDP values output using current prices, which is not corrected for inflation. So, when we say not corrected for inflation, it means that the computation of GDP does not include or does not represent the changes in prices over time. Tungod kay they're using current prices. This is the type of GDP that looks good on paper, di ba? That is why nominal GDP also plays an important role in the study of the economy. Okay, so I have here a short video presentation of the Okay, so as we have discussed earlier, GDP sums up the prices and production of goods and services. So as goods and services are added up, the nominal GDP increases. As I have said in the previous slide, if the total spending increase from one year to another, it may be because we either increase production or increase the prices of that goods and services. So as prices can increase, in this case, the GDP number can goes up again. So diba tanawa ha? As different product goes into the cash register, so then the prices, I mean the GDP, the number of GDP goes up. But the economy is not actually producing more. They are producing the same goods and services. Only that there is now a change in prices. Meaning to say, maura nga mga goods and services ang ginaproduce sa usa ka country. Why dagdag nga additional or another service or goods, or there is no update. Constant. Kay ba, kailan naman mo og constant, di ba? So, mo na siya ang nominal. No? So, as I have said, this might look good in paper, but it is a mirage. A nominal increase only. Okay? Asa naman